All right. Can you hear me now, Peaches? Can you hear me? Let's try it again. Comments. Let's try it. Peaches, can you hear me? Let me go back and there's no sound. Let's try it. Let's try it again. Let me text her. Can you hear me now? 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 I just text her. Peaches, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want to know, can you hear me so I can start the show? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I need to know. I need to know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm going to do something. Since I have this new laptop, I'm going to call her and see if she can hear me. You know, I'm going to try this. This is my business partner here. Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right, great. All right, I'm going to hang up. Paulette Allen says she can hear me. Let me explain to you guys what has happened. What happened? I bought this new mic, this $400 mic. You see it? I bought a new computer. I'm on a new computer now. So tonight we're not gonna have any problem. I have a stand. So I gotta figure out how to hook all this stuff up. I don't know. I'm not that technical, guys. So now you can hear me. So I'm glad. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from the 767, YT Kubuli, tall is her body, and you're from the village of Point Michel, the parish of St. Luke, aka the village of La Pointe, you call me Luke Boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. I'm so excited. CC Peaches and everyone who's watching. Paulette Allen, I'm glad you can hear me. Good night. Good night. It's a new computer, no buffering now. I got a brand new computer. I spent almost $1,000 on a computer. I bought a $400 mic, but I haven't figured out the mic yet. Now, you guys know I'm not technical, but I'm glad that you can hear me loud and clear. We're going to start the show. So let's play our theme song as we get ready to get started. I might strum my little guitar because you guys like that. I want to thank Peaches says loud and clear. Loud and clear. That is awesome. My business partner there, Peaches, my right-hander. Michael, let me ask Michael, can you hear me now? Can you hear now? Michael couldn't hear me because of that mic. Let's see. I'm sending to other people now. Hopefully you can hear me. You can hear me. Hopefully people can hear me. Put it in the chat. If everybody can hear me nice and clear, let's get the show started. I'm going to do a little strumming, start the guitar, and let's start Tuesdays with Terrence. If you can hear me, put it in the chat. Say, yes, I can hear you. I hope everybody can hear me now. Let's get it going. All right, let's start it. Let's start it.
Medium. Connected to virus alert scammer.
There we go. There we go. Let's get it going. Let's start it over. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Yes! On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embrace my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side. I want to say welcome everyone to Tuesdays with Terrence. I get so excited. I got so excited with my microphone. I didn't set it up right, so I want to thank those of you who are watching. I want to say good night to Paulette Allen, Elder Paulette Allen, my friend, and my Jamaican friend Paulette. How are you? Tell Dennis I say hello, and all the others. Tonight we have a great show planned for you. I'm hoping. Actually, I wanted to send this to somebody. Okay, Michael can hear me, girls. I want to give a shout out to a very special young man. His name is Michael Joseph. His mom is a friend of mine that I met almost 10 years ago in Miami. And funny thing about him is he had reached out to me earlier, and I kind of gave him a cold answer. You know, I said I work by appointment only, but I got to give him his props, man. He reached out to me, and I told him that tonight I actually am going to dedicate the show to him because he has a young child. And I'm glad that he's watching, and hopefully he and others will be able to understand what I'm trying to do tonight. So I want to say, Michael, welcome. There is somebody else I want to send this link to. It's one of my clients, actually, and they always forget. And they just texted me a little while ago. I'm going to say the show's on. I'm going to text them right now. Hopefully they'll watch it. And I'm going to send it to another client as well, because my clients, this one is a prospective client. I'm going to send it to them as well, and they can watch the show. So for those of you who are watching, I want to welcome you to Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited. On a Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you could have been somewhere else. And some people don't realize that in the chat, if you comment in the chat, I'll be able to see it. But if you comment on my phone, I may not be able to. I'll have to go into either my WhatsApp or my regular phone just to see it. So I want to thank for those of you who are watching. Some people, let's see if there's anybody watching on Instagram I can give a shout out to. Oh, Ethel, Emma-Jean, how you doing, Ethel? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching the show tonight. I am so excited. You know, I just played my theme song. I strum along. But this theme song means a lot to me. I wrote it, AI is singing it, but I wrote, the lyrics of what I wanted it done. And it just talks about my rise, from Dominica to Boston to the South. And for those of you watching for the first time tonight, I'm going to play the whole thing over again. I'm not going to strum the guitar this time. I'm going to play it so you can hear my full song. I might sing along. I can't sing, but you know me, I'll sing along. So as we start the show, let's play our theme song, The Roots of My Rise. There we go. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. I'm just me, folks. A licensed financial pro. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Here's the outro. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side. Man, that's my theme song I wrote. And basically, Paulette Allen, as you're watching, he talks about the Commons, right? The Boston Commons, right? The Boston Commons. It said, the lyric actually said, Paulette, if you listen to it, it was very clear on the lyric. You know, it basically said from the lyric, just to clarify for you, Paulette, it says, Boston raised me with hustle and grind, city lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way, a licensed financial pro. It says, on those snowy streets, the snowy streets of Boston, I learned to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the Commons, the Boston Commons, to the brownstones. You know, in the Back Bay, Paulette, they got brownstones. I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. And basically, that's what I do, man. I educate people on financial literacy. Tonight, I'm dedicating the show to Michael Joseph, who's watching. What I normally do on my show, I don't show you what you need to know. I tell you what you need to know. And then what you do is, if you like what I'm talking about, you can actually get on my calendar, schedule an appointment, and get it on my calendar and schedule an appointment. You're under no obligation to do anything. But if you talk to me, I'm going to convince you need to do something. So tonight, as we look at our show, and, you know, like I said, no more buffering. Everybody can see me nice and clear. I love it. It says, invest in your children and your grandchildren financially. Invest in your children and your grandchildren financially. If we take a look at markets today, for those of you who have 401ks, 403bs, 457, and TSPs, if you work for the federal government, the Dow Jones was up 218.16, so that was good for some. The NASDAQ, which is tech stocks, was down 36.88. So you lost a little money there. I have a friend who's heavily invested in the NASDAQ. You know, they lost a little money there. And then they're up 18% this year. And the S&P is up 0.22. So, you know, a little volatility on the NASDAQ. But you see my and the people who do business with me don't concern themselves about the indices. You know why? Because they participate in the gains of the market. In other words, when the market is up, they make money. When the markets are down, they don't lose a penny. So it's a win-win situation. You hear me talking about zero is the hero all the time. So I'm here trying to educate people about these concepts. So it says invest in your children and grandchildren financially. October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. It's the last quarter, the last 1K, 43B, 457, and TSP rollover season. So for some of you who are already retired, you should be talking to me still anyway. Some of you are parents. Some of you are grandparents. Some of you are great-grandparents. I can guarantee you, last Wednesday I turned 61, right? Your kids who are just born or who are young, I can guarantee you they can be a millionaire tax-free by the time they're my age. Not even time for retirement. I can guarantee you that if they are in their teens, 20s, 30s. And you're like, how could you guarantee that? Well, it's strategic planning, folks, strategic planning. And what happens, a lot of people don't understand the younger you start, the better it is for you. The younger you start, the better it is. The younger you start, the better it is. I'm glad that you love it, Paulette. You know, a lot of people don't understand, right? A lot of people do not understand that if you are in your 20s, if you're in your teens, or if you were just born, most people don't understand 2 weeks after your child is born is the when you start. 2 weeks after your child is born. I was talking to someone recently that I try to help, in a different state. The person was in their 70s. And basically, I think they misconstrued what I was trying to explain to them. If you don't have the discipline of saving, right, or you don't have the discipline of planning, I don't think when you get old, you're going to do it. Let me explain why. Now, you may say, I don't have much time and I got to do so much, but you don't have much time. The older you get, the sicker you get. I mean, I went to a gospel concert for my birthday to climax my birthday last Friday night. My wife took me to see the Gators in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I raised my hand so high, my arm started hurting. That never happened to me in the past. Never, ever. I'm getting older, and the older you get, the little bumps and bruises. If you bend down and tie your shoelace and you do it too fast, your back might hurt. So what does it have to do with what I do? I'm trying to say to you, the younger you are, if a child falls, a child don't really hurt themselves. They may have a little bruise. If I fall now, I may mess up a hip, a knee, something. As we get older, we need to lift weights for, osteoporosis, whatever they call it. Your bones need to be stronger. You need to lift weights. I walk a lot, but I don't lift weights. I need to start doing that. I need to go join a gym and start lifting weights. And don't let me get cut up, because if I get cut up, I'm wearing wife beaters to Tuesdays with Terrence, showing all my muscles on my six-pack. But on a serious note, folks, I can show you how to your children and your grandchildren who are young, how to give them a head start. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want someone to put it in the chat for me. And no one's going to put it in the chat because I know the answer. Not your father, not your grandfather, not your great-grandfather, not your great-great-grandfather, not your great-great-great-grand. Do you know the first name of your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather? I don't know mine. I know the name of my father in heaven who came and died over 2,000 years ago, but I don't know his name. Oh, right? And the reason I don't know his name is because he didn't leave me anything. A lot of people, get on Trump. I don't support his policies, but his father left him a ton of money, millions of dollars. And what I'm trying to educate people who look like me is that you can do the same thing. It may not be 250 million or 800 million or whatever, or 100 million or 50 million, but you can leave a legacy for your children, or teach them how to save and do it properly, so that when they're my age, they haven't got to worry about. I just got my Social Security thing today. I was looking at it. I'm like, I'm 61. So in theory, I can take Social Security at 62. I won't. I can take it at 65. I won't. I'm going to wait till 70. You know why? Because I love what I do. I don't have a job. I educate, I pontificate, I teach people financial literacy. And it's very powerful to me because guess what? I don't do any heavy lifting. I'm in a virtual office right now. You're talking to me. I can do business with you in any state. And if you don't know how to do Zoom, I'll come to see you. Like this Thursday, I have an appointment in South Carolina, Thursday night, to see someone in person, because that's what they believe. My church is having a revival. I have to miss that one because I have to go work. But my point is, the only way I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing is when I can't find my way home. And my job helps keep my mental cognitive intact, because I have to study, I have to do continuing ed, I have to know, still with current news about what's happening in my industry. So basically, I can do this thing till I'm 100 and whatever. I'm never going to stop doing this. Some people start taking Social Security at 62 because, life happens. Some people have a disability. They have to start getting a disability income because life happens. Some people do it at 65. Well, I ain't going to live that long. Well, the good book gives us 3 scores and 10, right? That's 70. And someone said to me the other day, well, 3 scores and 10 is 70. After 70, everything after that is grace. Well, I know I serve a God in heaven, and I believe you should live like he's coming tonight, but plan like he's coming in 100 years. Because I remember 50 years ago, they told me he was coming, and he still hasn't come, right? And the Bible tells you no man knows the hour when he comes. So this is not a sermon or religious show. I'm trying to make a point. If you were not doing it for the last 30, 40 years, you're going to start doing it in your 60s and 70s. So what I'm trying to do is, there are some people who are older who've saved, and there's some people who don't. But it's paramount that you start teaching your children and your grandchildren these non-traditional financial concepts of infinite banking, so they can have cash they can access tax-free. If you structure it properly, we call it tax-favored. Because if you don't structure it properly, I'm going to ask you all a question. I've asked this question a plethora of times, a multitude of times. A multitude, plethora is the wrong word. A million times I've asked you guys this question. Lots of times. If I give you this business proposal, would you do it? Let's go into business together. You put up all the money. You take all the risk. You handle the overhead, HR, everything. You put everything up. But we're business partners, equal. But I don't put anything. You do everything. And in 30 years or 40 years, I'm going to tell you how much money you owe me. Would you go into business with me? Every one of you would say no. I wouldn't do it with my mother, and she's dead. And I love my mother. I was a mama's boy. My point I'm trying to make to you is that's what almost all of you in middle America is doing. You have a 401k. The government put no money in it. Only you do. You take all the risk in the market. Your company may match contributions up to a certain amount. And guess what? You defer taxes, the income. If you make 75 grand and you put 10 grand in your 401k, your AGI, your adjusted gross income, is actually 65,000. And guess what? You didn't save taxes, you postponed taxes. Now, do you control taxes? You don't control taxes. Congress does. Congress does. Congress does. The House and the Senate write bills, they sponsor bills, the president signs it into law, it passes to Congress, and that's how they can raise taxes. You don't control that. So why won't you pay your taxes now and then enjoy a tax-free retirement? Now, supplement, you need I talk about retirement supplements all the time. Something to supplement your 401k. Some of you may have pension plans, but companies don't even give pension plans anymore. So you need these strategies that I talk about. But here it is. If you have a child that's that's 2 weeks old, up on even that you're responsible for till they're usually 22, right? If you start teaching them these concepts that I teach, when they get to my age, they're bawling, shark calling. Right now, they say we're approaching a recession. I don't know. But a recession is a yard sale for the prepared. The recession is a yard sale for the prepared. Last week I bought a car, and this week I saw another car that I wanted. I'm like, man, that's a nice car. I wish I saw that one last week. I would have bought it, right? But my point is, if you have the money prepared, you can do whatever you want when you want it. But if you don't have it, you can't do it. You can't do it. So what I teach is I teach families to teach their children and their grandchildren these concepts. And what you do is you start dumping monies for their benefit, and you get to control it as the mother or the father or as the grandma and the grandpa. And if you don't feel they're responsible, they don't get to control it till you die. Excuse me. Hopefully you'll die an old man or old woman, and by then they will have financial literacy and they'll understand. You need to teach them, Johnny, Susie, I've created this for you. I'm going to start funding it until you're out of college. When you get out of college or when you get your first job, you got to sustain it. And it's going to benefit you. And then you teach your children that. And the next generation and the next generation. You see the problem in our communities of color. People who look like me, we don't teach that. As a matter of fact, I'm sick and tired watching GoFundMes all the time for families of color, whether they didn't prepare for final expenses, they didn't prepare for living benefits. You know what? What ticks me off, I'm going to use a word, I shouldn't use the word piss me off, but I just used it. What ticks me off is that you are my Facebook friend. You see me educating you on income protection, debt elimination, legacy creation. You see me talking about you need to protect your income even if you're retired. I'm wearing pink right now. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I have two sisters who are breast cancer survivors. My youngest sister, Mena, and my oldest sister, Ernestine. Mena had triple negative breast cancer, right? Both breasts had to be reconstructed and removed. And my other sister, my point I'm making here is simply this. Why is it that when life happens, you don't have an emergency pool of money that you can access tax-free? Because most of you are thinking about something you have to die to take advantage of. No, I'm talking about something you can access while you're alive. While you are alive. And breast cancer is not a respecter of persons. Men get it too, but it's predominantly women. So it's a critical illness. And there's other things that some people get older. I have multiple friends who under 50 had strokes. People get strokes. They get heart attacks, aneurysms, angioplasty, lupus. You have a car accident, become a quadriplegic. I've known people like that. My point is, prepare today. And you say, why don't you show me an illustration? No, I'm not going to show you an illustration. I want to show you one on an appointment. Get on my schedule. Get on my calendar. Like, for example, I just saw someone that I know, their sibling passed, died unexpectedly last week. I'm not picking on them. I'm just making a point. And there's a GoFundMe out there. No, folks, stop that. Prepare, plan. I can show you how to do that. People say, oh, somebody else is going to benefit. When you have that kind of scarcity mindset, those are the kind of people I don't even want for clients because they don't understand the concept of preparing for the future and preparing their children. You have to give your children a head start. You have to. And for those of you who don't know better, like when I was younger, a lot of these concepts I didn't know. I was a young banker, but I didn't know this side of the business. So now I'm trying to teach it to y'all. My youngest is 26. I'm doing it for him. Just in case. I'm not always going to be around. My daughter does it on her own. My point I'm trying to make here to you guys is simply this. A lot of you um, know me, and sometimes you may feel a little uncomfortable because you know me and you're like, you know what, I know him, so I don't want him in my business. I don't care about your business. I have clients who are multimillionaires. I have clients who are um, middle income, you know, upper middle class. I have clients who are paupers. It doesn't matter. I don't care where you stand. I don't care how much money you make. It's not even important how much you make. It's how much you can serve and how much you put your children to be in a better position. The Caucasians are doing it. The Asians are doing it. The Hispanics are starting to do it. The East Indians are doing it. Why can't you do it? People who look like me and you, why can't you all do it? Why? Why? I heard someone said, I ain't leaving all that money for. I'm like, who talks like that? It's not about leaving money. It's not about leaving money, guys. It's about making sure your financial literacy is lit and fly and all that stuff. I was thinking about life the other day, and I was like, we got bills that never ends, because utilities and stuff, you always have to pay that. That's not debt, because it could be debt, but it's not, because you're always going to have utilities. You may not always have a mortgage. I can show you how to get out of debt with a mortgage, credit card, student loans, the 9 years or less, without spending any additional income that you're spending. But I want to say this, last week I paid off all my debt. Not all my debt, all my bills. I paid off all my bills, and a lot of my credit cards, I paid them off. But guess what? Guess what? I know by the end of this year, I got to save a certain amount of money. But guess what? I'm not going to save it in a bank account. I have to start putting it somewhere that I can access it tax-free, where nobody can see it. Or any one of you who got money in the bank right now, some of you watching, some of you got 30,000, 5,000, 100,000, 200. What if I came to your house and I fell down because your stairs were slippery? I could sue you. I can find out how much money you have. If you structure your programs with how I do it, you don't have a clue what they have. This client I just sent this thing to a little while ago, nobody knows what they have. Nobody. Not debtors, the government, because in bank accounts they can tell. So learn the strategies of the wealthy. Learn the strategies of the wealthy. And I believe if you do that, you will become so much more literate in financial literacy. You'll be a better steward of your money. Do you know why some people don't have a lot? Because they cannot manage what they have. And the reason why some people cannot manage what they haven't got a budget. Do you have a budget? Some people, every money they spend, they make, they got to spend it. You got to get a manicure, a pedicure, get their hair done, their back rub, and take a trip to Dubai and to every. Nothing is wrong with any of that stuff, folks. But are you paying yourself first? Are you paying your children and your grandchildren first? Stop buying them Jordans and doggone PS5s or whatever they call them things. Invest in them financially so that when they get older, they can open their own businesses. Entrepreneurship is a beautiful thing if you know exactly what's best or what your calling is. You see, as an entrepreneur, this is all I want to do. I don't fry chicken on the side. I don't cut hair. I don't do breaks. I don't cut the grass at lawns. This is all I do. All I do. I have a big mouth. I talk a lot, but I get paid handsomely to do that. And that's why I educate you guys on Tuesdays with Terrence all the time. I do it because I want you to be more literate in what you do. I want you to be more literate in what you do, folks. And I believe you can. Some of you, instead of when you sit around the Thanksgiving table, ask your children, what's the financial plan for my grandchild? Also ask them, Is your income protected? Ask them, who are you using for living benefits? Who are you using for critical illness? They're like, what? What are you talking about? You see, we never think about tomorrow until tomorrow comes. And I have a saying that I used to hear from one of my old mentors. Only your future self can take care of your current self. And only your current self, sorry, I said it backwards, I apologize. Only your current self can take care of your future self. So only now, if you have a child that was just born, or a grandchild, or even they're younger, you know, when a child is born, they're never diagnosed with autism. I have a client whose child was diagnosed with autism at 6, and now the child is uninsurable. But at 2 weeks, the child wasn't. Folks, some of you have done a good job. You have amassed homes, 401ks. You may have mutual funds, stocks, bonds. You may do real estate investing. You may have bank accounts. Some of you, when the show is off, pat yourself on the back. Congratulations. But some of you haven't even started thinking about legacy planning, estate planning. If you have over $100,000 in 401ks and homes and bank accounts, do you have a trust, an irrevocable living trust? Because someone can contest the will, you can't contest the trust. So if you have assets protected from, you see, wealthy people, that's why it's hard to sue wealthy people. They don't own anything. They control everything. They have it protected. And as you don't have to be a millionaire or a billionaire or be a 1%er to have these concepts in place. You don't have to be. It can be done. So you ask yourself, how, you may say, well, Terrence or Havis or Mr. Bardui or Little Boy or Luka Boy or whomever, whatever you want to call me, you're like, how do I invest in my children and my grandchildren? How? The first thing you have to do is to get on my calendar. My number's scrolling there. You're my Facebook friend. You can DM me. You can Instagram me. You can TikTok me. You can X me. You can LinkedIn me. You can YouTube me. You can whatever me. But my numbers are scrolling. Even if you don't do anything, find out what your options are. Change the trajectory of how your children and your grandchildren will be in the future. And some of you so-called Christians talking about, well, Jesus is coming soon. True, he is coming soon. Actually, I want him to come ASAP. Guess what? The word got to go across the world. But guess what? Life happens, and until then, what you're gonna do? I just told you, live like he's coming tonight and plan like he's coming in 100 years. I have a client in Charlotte, North Carolina, one of my esteemed clients. I have several things with me, and this client told me, and they grew up in Jim Crow in the South, and this client told me they were saving their money like the company that they worked for, the hospital, was going to take their retirement away from them. Now you're like, what? But think about that mindset. And my client's very thrifty, but they said, no, I'm cheap. That's what they say. But when they buy cars, they buy cash. When their house is paid for, their 2 cars are paid for, they don't have any debt, no credit card debt, no nothing. They have utilities and they can afford it. And this client, keeps a substantial amount in their checking account. That's what makes them, is that security that they have. But guess what? That person or that individual knows that, hey, over the years I've been saving. You see, if you don't save, you have nothing to. You ever go to the ATM and check your balance and there's nothing in there? Why are you checking? You knew there was nothing in there. But that's what we do. But wouldn't it be nice that you had a bank, the National Bank of you, put your name behind it. So in my case, it's the National Bank of Havis Terrence Bardui, the National Bank of Little Boy, the National Bank of Luku Boy, the National Bank of the Dominican, the National Bank of whatever I want to call it. And what you got to do is make sure you fund it properly. So I'm going to teach you a quick concept. Many of you lose opportunity cost. You're like, what is that? What is opportunity cost? Well, Albert Einstein said compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? So check this out. If you have $5,000 in the bank and you take $4,000 to buy a AC unit, or if you have 10,000 and you take 5,000 to buy an AC unit, or I don't know, to do something, you have 5,000 left because you had 10, right? And you took 5. And guess what? If you build it back up to 10,000, guess what? If you build it back up to 10,000, I just told you about opportunity cost. It should have been 15,000, but guess what? You interrupted compounding by taking 5 grand to buy your AC unit or whatever unit you needed. But you needed that. But what I teach my clients is my clients will become the national bank of them. They have 10,000 in there. They take $5,000 to buy, I don't know, a used car or AC unit, and they still have 10,000 earning uninterrupted compounded interest on that 10,000. And what they do is they keep paying it back. Because when you keep paying back that into your bank account at National Bank of, I don't know, Wells Fargo or Bank of America or your credit union, you keep paying it back, you've interrupted your compounding. But with the concept that I'm teaching, you never interrupt compounding. Good evening, Brandy Hubbard. Good to hear you. Good to see you tonight. So, folks, what I'm trying to say to you is that if you have a young child, and I'm talking to you, Michael, this show is dedicated to you. Get on my calendar, man. Let me show you. Let me show you what you can do for your daughter. When your daughter is your age, you'll see what she has. When she's my age, I'm the same age as your mom. You'll see it and you'll be like, praise the Lord. And what you're going to do, you're going to teach her so that when she's old enough and she's out of college, she starts funding it because she's going to make more money than you. We all made more money. All of us on the watching me, right, made more money than our parents. But guess what? My dad was a saver. I don't know how much my dad ever made, but it wasn't much. But he always saved. So what I'm trying to teach you is that the reason why the government take your taxes before you receive your check is because they don't trust you. You remember back in the day, for those of you who are really old like me, you could have rolled over your 401k. They would give you the whole check and you had 90 days. The check was made payable to you and you had 90 days to roll it over, or an IRA to roll it over into that. But guess what? People wasn't paying the taxes and they wasn't rolling it over. So then they owe the government money. And Uncle Sam, he's going to come after you if you owe him money. He's coming after you. And I think it's important that you know that, hey, folks, I got to take care of my commitments. What does the Bible say? Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. In other words, Uncle Sam got to get his. But there's ways, Uncle Sam, however, and the IRS have showed you there are strategies that you can put in place where you can bypass that. And it's legal, totally legal. But nobody's telling you about it. You know why? Because you think the billionaires want you to be a billionaire? They want you to be a slave for them. The guy who owns Hobby Lobby, or the guy who owns Home Depot, or the guy who owns this, or the gal who owns that, Walmart or whatever. They want you working for them because billionaires don't work. They invest and make more money. But the schmucks like me and you have to work. Well, how about you start putting stuff aside so that you may not be a billionaire, you may be a millionaire, but you can be a thousandaire. And if you're young enough, or if you're making good money, you can still become a millionaire if you structure it properly. You have the right financial advice from the right individuals, a trusted, licensed financial pro with integrity and ethics. Ça, c'est moi. That's me. I said that for Michael. He knows what that means. That is me. My clients love me. Some tell me, some don't tell me, some tell me in private. Some don't even want me to put them out there. If you guys notice, I never really post my clients because some of them don't want nobody to know. They're like, I want nobody to know nothing. And I said, well, I'm not your side piece. I'm your main piece. But I have a client. I take pictures with them and I post in them. You know, I want in 2026, I want some of my clients to start doing testimonials because what it does is going to show some of their friends and family, hey, you know what? If I can do it, they can do it too. I'm not going anywhere. As long as I have a mouth and I can hear and I can see, I'm going to be here educating you guys. February 4th, coming up next year, will be 6 years I've been doing Tuesdays with Terrence. 6 years. I've never missed a night. The only night I missed was during the George Floyd thing, that Tuesday night in June 2020 or 2021, whatever year it was. I basically had a black screen in protest. I was standing right there, but you couldn't see me. It was a black screen for an hour. But I'm here teaching, educating, pontificating on financial literacy. And I believe each and every one of you who have children, grandchildren, who have, even for yourselves, some people don't like how I say things because it sounds very harsh. It's not harsh. It's the truth hurts, man. But don't knowledge is not power, you know. Knowledge is not power. If you have knowledge, you don't have power. Applied knowledge is power. When you have the power, you have to apply it. And when you apply it, that's how you get it done. I want to say good evening to Miss Esther Duran Kazami Saka Fet, all the way in St. Martin. You hope you're doing good over there on the Dutch side. I think you say you're on, right? I don't think you're on the French side. But anyways, my point here is this, folks. As you get older, some of these concepts you have to use. And even if you're in St. Martin, I know somebody there who can help you. If you're in Dominica, I know somebody there who can help you. If you're in Antigua, I know somebody there who can help you. If you're in Canada, I know somebody there who can help you. But if you're in the continental United States, and some of you who are watching, you don't even live in this country, the United States of America, you have family up here. Why aren't they my clients? Why aren't you telling them to call me or contact me, or you should be talking to this dude because he has a wealth of knowledge, a plethora of knowledge. He's just telling you all this stuff, all these different things he's teaching. And if you do what he says, in the future, you'll be doing well for you and your family. I am never going to stop this crusade. You all want me to shut down Tuesdays with Terrence? Everybody protect themselves. That'll never happen. So it's like the gospel. The gospel will always be preached till Jesus comes, but everybody haven't heard it. Some people need to hear it 2-3 times. Same concept with this. Sometimes you have to hear this 2 or 3 times. For those of you who are watching tonight, as you can see, I got a brand new computer, no buffering. I look handsome. I got my quand même in patois, Creole. It means you know what I'm saying. I got my pink shirt wearing for, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I have 2 sisters who are breast cancer survivors. I also have a sister-in-law who died from breast cancer at age 37 in Boston back in the day. I think it was 2012 she died. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this. Get on my calendar. Let me teach you how I can help you and your children and your grandchildren. If you're not going to do it for you, you know how you love your grandchildren. Some of you all don't even discipline your grandchildren. Your children, you are like, especially from the island. I got a lot of, but your grandchildren, oh, let them be. Well, give them a financial start. You're correct, Paulette. You're a retired nurse, applied knowledge with all the nursing skills you had. If you didn't apply those, how to put on a this and do a that, it would be no good. Knowledge is not power, applied knowledge. So when you learn something from me, apply it. Let me teach you. Let me show you. And you don't want me to know your business? I'll pass you to one of my colleagues. They'll help you. But you know what, though? Let me help you because I'm the one teaching you. Put your pride aside. But it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I've referred some people to So some of my colleagues. Folks, I can teach you how to make your children and grandchildren millionaires tax-free. If you structure it properly, fund it properly, I can. All the money, listen, the concepts that I talk about, you can use it for a vacation plan to go to St. Lucia, Dominica, Jamaica, St. Martin, Dubai, Greece, France, Mexico, Cabo San Lucas, Hawaii, Turks and Caicos, Belize, Colombia, Argentina, Uruguay, Bonaire, Aruba, Curacao. I don't care where you go, Trinidad and Tobago. I can teach you how to use an infinite banking concept to do that. I can teach you how to start doing that for you want to be an entrepreneur. You know how to cook very well. You want to sell dinners on the side, or cut here, or braid here, or fix here. Whatever it is that your side hustle is, let me show you. And if you have a business and you have a partner, do you have a buy-sell agreement? It's called Keyman Insurance. Do you have a buy-sell agreement? So, for example, me and Paulette Allen are business partners, right? We have a multi-million-dollar company. Well, Paulette and I are co-owners. Well, there's a plan on me. And Paulette is the beneficiary. If something happens to me, Paulette can continue the business because she may not want to do business with my family, my wife or my kids, and vice versa. Something happens to her, I get the money. I want to buy out her husband. Maybe I don't want to do business with her husband or her kids. But if you have, like today, the car guy where I bought the car from, I talked to him about these concepts. And I need to go there and sit down with them and show them how I can help them. I'm doing business with you. You do business with me. Folks, time is running out. It's 7:56. And what I do is I educate, I pontificate, I teach, I try to teach people these concepts every day. And you see on Tuesdays, when I have Tuesdays with Terrence, you guys see me live or online. But I'm saying to you, every day I'm talking to clients about these concepts. Some get it, some don't. In my business, we say this: some may, some will, some won't. Next. I'm always looking for the next person. Always. You know why? Because friends and family are not predominantly my clients. I'll put it out there. My wife just became my client last year. A lot of my friends, I have friends watching here who are clients and business partners. But let me tell you this. All I have to do every day is educate. People have found me on Facebook and became my clients because they know I'm consistent, I'm educated, I have ethics, I'm charming. Not just ethics, but my compliance is strong. I'm a fiduciary. In other words, I have you put your best interest at heart. And if you have a 401k, a 457, a 453, a 457, a 43B from your old job, or TSP as a federal employee, let me show you how to protect that where you can never run out of it ever. I can guarantee you that. Let me show you. Have a conversation with me. It costs you nothing because you can't afford me. So I do it for free. I do it for free. It doesn't cost you anything. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. And even from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and you from La Puente. You don't say little boy, you say little boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. Look, folks, I can guarantee some stuff, but you got to get on my calendar, though. You got to get on my calendar. Do you want to get on my calendar? Do you think you want to get on my calendar? Can you get on my calendar? Do you want to get on my calendar? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Hmm? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Someone wants to come on. I say I'm about to finish. I am finishing now. Let me tell finishing now. This is a Jamaican lady I met online. Awesome lady. I follow on TikTok. Let me give her a shout out. This and that. Shout out. This and that. So, folks, listen. Paula typed it in there. She said applied knowledge. If you like what you heard, like and share what you saw today, or share it with somebody. You like, but you know what, Havis? You know what, Terrence? You know what, Mr. Bardui? You know what, little boy? You know what, little boy? You didn't share anything. You didn't show us. Get on my calendar. Let me show you. I can show you if you get on my calendar. I guarantee you I can show you if you get on my calendar. But you got to get on my calendar. You got to get on my calendar, and I'll show you how I can make your grandkid or your kid, if they're young enough, and even if some of them are a little older and they want to, sacrifice, you'd have to do more. But if they're young, I'm going to show you how to keep the young ones safe and sound so that when they're my age, they can have a tax-free retirement, not including Social Security, not including, their 401ks and other things that they do. Again, my show is called Tuesdays with Terrence, every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, live via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, I said that, X, my business page. All of you who are watching, go follow me, Bardui Financial Services. Go watch my business page and follow me there. Good night, beautiful people. I'll play the guitar for you. Yes. Good night, everybody.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you saw, share. If you don't like it, you don't have to share. But thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Hasta la vista. Babies, no buffering, new computer. I just got to figure out the mic, though. Understand. Because it's a $400 mic. See it? $400 for the mic and the stand and, new computer. I'm excited, guys. Hey, don't let too late be your cry. I can help you. I can help your family. Get on my calendar. You're scrolling at the bottom is my phone number. You all know how to get to me on Instagram, X, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp. Hit me up. I'd be more than happy to just sit down and formulate a plan and show you how you can make your grandchildren or children millionaires by the time they become my age, tax-free, age 61. On that note, hasta la vista, babies. One love. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Don't take you for granted. Peace. I'm out. Boom. Oh, yes, yes. Good night, good night, good night.